The KwaZulu-Natal government says it will assist the families of the victims of last week's crash on the N2 at uPhongolo involving a truck and a bakkie. 20 people died, among them 18 children. Truck driver Sibusiso Siyaya is facing 20 charges of culpable homicide. He has already appeared in the Pongola Magistrate's court. Now, let's get the latest. We're now joined via Zoom by the Department of Transport spokesperson, Lwaphesheya Khoza. Lwaphesheya, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Now, you're still conducting assessment work on the ground at uPhongolo. Perhaps give us the latest in terms of, have parents been able to identify their loved ones, and what are the department's plans in terms of assisting the families?
Thank you very much. So the team is currently in uPhongolo at this current moment in time. So there has been a confirmation of the deaths. The death toll is currently sitting at 20 people, which is 18 scholars and 2 adults that were involved in the accident. The Road Traffic Management Corporation will be giving a report tomorrow, a finalized accident report tomorrow following their findings, and it is post that accident report that the families will then be able to identify their loved ones, because the carnage of those bodies was a bit too dire to allow for the identification of the bodies to take place yesterday, as was communicated prior. So that will be taking place tomorrow, and then from the Department of the National Department of Transport through its agencies, RTMC will be fast tracking and assisting the police and the law enforcement agents from KwaZulu-Natal as well as the local government to basically assist in the investigation and ensuring that the report is finalized and concluded by tomorrow. But also from the Road Accident Fund, we will be trying to support the families in claiming for their losses of loved ones.
Now let's talk about the road where this accident happened. Scores of residents and community members, of course, in the area are now concerned. They're complaining about the reckless driving of, these truck drivers, particularly on the N2. And I mean, they've been complaining for years now, including directly having the audience of the minister. Why has it taken the department so long to heed their calls?
So the N2 being a national road that cuts between a rural precinct of uPhongolo, basically the safety precaution and safety measures that all national roads that do cut through areas of residential activity were demarcated as such. So if you're on the road, as we prior went to this morning, one does see that potentially all the necessary precaution measures in terms of road infrastructure, the road safety, were taken up and ensured by Sunroll that they were up to date. I think that in this particular matter, we are dealing with a case of gross driver negligence, which will be taken up through our Road Traffic Management Corporation, which then also houses the National Traffic Association. So it's genuinely a matter that we're looking into in terms of addressing lawlessness and driver recklessness on that particular road.
So are you saying that between 2019, because that was probably the largest uproar that we saw from community members taking to social media, to date, something has been done, particularly by Sunroll? Is that what you're saying?
So in ensuring that the road infrastructure in that particular area is safe, the necessary demarcations are given in terms of the speed limits, the griddling that is meant to be able to assist the safety of the road in terms of assisting people slow down in areas where there is residential occupation in those regions. I believe that the quality of the road in that particular stretch is one that is of good quality and basically enables the form of safety to prevail.
So, Lwaphesheya, I'm not sure how much you look at the Minister of Transport's tweets, but I know that he's not in the country at the moment. But earlier this morning, he tweeted that, saying that the department needs to move trucks from roads to rail, and that he's going to be giving us a detailed plan around that matter. Can you elaborate on his tweet?
So Minister has been very strong in echoing the sentiments of basically the resuscitation of the railway lines and the rebuilding of rail infrastructure in the country. From a basically a commuter rail perspective, but we understand that the investment of rail is not just going to benefit commuter rail, it will also benefit the transportation of freight and assisting the movement from road to rail, which Minister has echoed to be his priority at this particular point in time. So that is also draws us back to the investments that are being made currently to ensure that the rail infrastructure is up and running again. So Minister's sentiments are backed up by work that has been done prior and work that is currently continuing to ensure that the railway infrastructure of this country is not just back on track to benefit passenger rail, but also back on track to benefit the movement of freight from road to rail.
He talks about a detailed plan. Do you know when he will be able to, make this available to the public?
So the plan had been put into place from the year of 2019, late 2019. However, we found ourselves in a COVID era. So we are now currently in a state of basically rebuilding that infrastructure, and Minister will give further detail as he had elaborated on social media earlier on today.
All right, Lwaphesheya, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Really do appreciate it. Lwaphesheya Khoza is the spokesperson of the Department of Transport.